Alright, so here is the continuation for the basic methods for economy studies and comparing alternatives. So for the first topic, actually, isaw na nako ang rate of return, ang annual worth, ang present worth, ang future worth, ug ang payback period method. So we will see how are or how is a problem computed with each of the following examples? So for number one, for the method one, which is the rate of return method, ang rate of return is a measure of the effectiveness of an investment of capital and its financial efficiency. So kani siya na method is to check, no, if our actually kani tanang methods is to check if ang final output sa cash flow sa inflows kay sufficient pa siya sa atong investment. So when this method is used, it's necessary to decide whether the computed rate of return is sufficient to justify this in the investment. So one term po natong ma-associate for that one is the term desirable ba siya na investment or not. So gamiton nato sa rate of return method in which the formula is the net annual profit divided by the capital invested. So, kani si net annual profit is just equivalent to the annual revenue minus the annual cost. So, in a problem, na revenue, na po'y cost annually. Okay, so mo na itong remember with the rate of return method. So, for the annual worth method, it's the method, or in this method, interest on the original investment, sometimes called minimum required profit, is included as a cost. So, ang interest daw on the original investment, kay included siya as cost. So, na itong i-remember kay annual worth method. So, if the excess of annual cash flows over annual cash outflows is not less than zero, then the proposed investment is justified. So, meaning profitable siya pag, of course, ang inflows is not less than zero. Okay? Or inflows over cash annual outflows rather is not equivalent to zero. So desirable siya if annual cash inflow minus annual cash outflow is greater than or equal to zero. For example, imong cash inflow within a year is 299,000. And imong annual cash outflow or kung sa imong napagawas na quarter is around 350,000, then that's negative na imuhang result. So therefore, that investment is not desirable. It's not justifiable. So cut that off. No. So we can use the annual worth method, the rate of return method, and we can also try, or we also have this economic engineering economic alternative, in which we call the in which we call it's the present worth method. So can I say present worth method class? This method is based on the concept of present worth. So remember nitong present worth nato nagihan before. Now, if the present worth of all net cash flows is equal to or greater than zero, then the project is justified. Okay, so cash inflow includes annual revenue and okay, inflow ha. So pag compute nato later on with getting the cash inflows, appeal si annual revenue and the salvage or scrap value. Where sa cash outflow karon kay present worth method, i-exclude nato si depreciation. Mula na to ang i-need i-remember kay present worth method. So no depreciation in cash outflow, but there is annual revenue and salvage value in the cash inflow sa kung sa mosulod na kwarta sa imuha. So, kani pud si future worth method class is exactly comparable to the present worth method, except all cash outflows and inflows are compounded forward to a reference point in time called the future. Okay? So, kaning future worth method is that it should be the future worth of all net cash flows, so tanang cash flows, okay, would dapat siya greater than or equal to zero. Okay? So we also have the payback or the payout period method. It is defined as the length of time required, to recover the first cost of an investment from the net cash flow produced by the investment for an interest rate of zero. So Kani si payback method mabala na to kung kato how, how many years will it require you to recover your investment. Okay? So for example, nag-invest ka og 200,000. Pila ka years di mo ma-recover imong 200,000. So pwede nato magamit ang for example, nag-invest ka cafe, okay? And then computation kung pila ka years di mo siya mabawi. So yeah, mo na to ang gamiton, payback period. So ang payback period is depreciation is not included in cash outflow. Okay? So mo na siya si payback period method. Alright, so again, I have told you earlier na using each of the following methods, the ROR, the annual worth, the present worth, the future worth, and the payback period, or the payback, or what we call sometimes the payout, kasi gilahin mo gawa sa exam, no? So, kani, no? Ang formula aning payback period is investment. So, pila mig invest minus the salvage value divided by the net annual cash flow. So, let's start having all of the same examples, however, different methods atong gamiton. So, an investment of 270,000 can be made in the project that will produce a uniform annual revenue of 185,400 for 5 years and having a salvage value of 10% of the investment. So, nadaw kay first cost na 270,000 pesos. Sorry. Uy, balik yan. So, like that. So, present is 270,000. Oh, sorry, present. So, present. First cost is 270,000 pesos. And then, you have these annual, no? Annual revenue annually, ano na to, is 185,400 pesos for 5 years. So, natay N for 5 years. So, for 5 years daw, imong revenue is 185,400. And then, nakay salvage value na 10% of 270,000. So that's 270,000 times 0.10. That's 27,000 pesos. Imong salvage value. Out-of-pocket costs for operation and maintenance will be 81,000. So na daw kay operation and maintenance, which is, how much is that? 81,000 pesos per year, so annually. Taxes and insurance will be 4% of the first cost per year. So, na kay tax, na po kay insurance. Tax, insurance. So, kani siya annual ni ha, annual na. Tax and insurance, so pwede na tatawagan og IT, T&I, which is 4% of, so 270,000 times 0.04, that is equivalent to 10,800. Okay? So, mana sila na itong mga values. And, one pa. The company expects capital to earn not less than 25% before income taxes. So, cut to down. Ang company is expecting 25% not to earn less than 25%. So, 26% and more. So, unsa man ang 26% and more, or 25.1% and more, 25% more sa 270,000 pesos. So, to find this using ROR method, again, the formula is, determine the rate of return. Is this a desirable investment? So remember that in ROR method class, by ROR, or the rate of return method, the formula is just ROR is equal to the net annual profit. Remember, right? The net annual profit divided by the capital that you have invested. Of course. So, kaning net annual profit, we are going to find it first, no? Kasi dagan og factors to get the profit. We have to get the cash inflows and the cash outflows first. So, we have the we have to get the total annual cost first. The total annual cost is just equivalent to the tax, di ba? Cost nimo. Unsa man nimo mga gipanggasto diri na kay tax and insurance plus we also have the operation and maintenance, right? Operation and maintenance annually. Annually man ni tanan class. Pero pag for example, wala siya naka-annual like 12,200 pesos monthly daw imong gasto. So you have to multiply it by 12 first before you kuan. Siyempre, yun man diri annual cost, no? So which means that in getting these economy studies, the methods in economy studies, you have to use your critical thinking skills, your analysis. Okay? So, unsa pa may annual cost diri? Of course, class, by ROR method, we also need to find the depreciation. And to get the depreciation, having the operation and maintenance, the taxes and insurance, di ba? We need to find depreciation by the sinking fund method. If you could remember, sinking fund method, atong gamitin, it's because na siya mga operation maintenance, siya salvage value, right? So using the sinking fund method in depreciation, we could get the depreciation later on. Okay, so the taxes and insurance is equivalent to 270,000, and in total annual cost plus is the cash outflow. Okay, plus the operation maintenance is 81,000 pesos, plus the depreciation, which is equivalent to, again, by the sinking fund method, the first cost minus the salvage value all over I times pa din nato siya sa I, which is 0.25 atong I, right? I equals 0.25. 25% lang daw. All over 1 plus 0.25. Ang atong N is 5 years, so 5 minus 1. Okay? So, muna siya ang depreciation. So, if we add that, that's 29,000, that's 29,608.76 kani siya. So, that the total annual cost, i-add nato ang tulo, is equivalent to 121,408.76. Okay? So, disclaimer, these slides are not mine. So, yeah. Mana siya itong total annual cost. And to find the net annual profit, we have to subtract the total annual cost with the first investment that you have. So the net annual profit class is equal to 185,000 money first cost investment minus 121,408.76. So ang net annual profit po natin is 63,991.24 pesos. So we can now get the rate of return, which is rate of return. Tingnan natin, that's net annual profit, which is 63,991.24 divided by yung capital nag-invest po natin, which is 185,400. So divide that, we can get the ROR as tama ba niya ako ang 63,991 divided by 1 ito. Ay, capital invested man di ay. Sorry. 185,000 ang invested nato is the first cost, which is bakit ganito? 270,000 po pala. So kani siya is net annual profit is the annual cost or the annual revenue. Annual revenue minus the total annual cost. Total annual cost. Okay? So 63,991 divided by 270,000. Okay, so we only have 23.70%, no? So this 23.70%, ang ingon diri, dapat daw, gina-expect sa company, dapat to dili less than 25% sa imong first na gigawas na investment. So, this is only 23% and 23.7% is not greater than 25%, right? So therefore, this is not, therefore, this investment, what's the spelling? This investment is not desirable. Okay? So undesirable yung investment. So that is if we are going to use the rate of return method. Number 2, an investment of 270,000 can be made in a project that will produce an annual revenue. Same lang yapon ng problem, but the thing here is we are going to use the annual worth method na in finding if our investment is desirable or not. So, desirable ba itong investment? We are not sure. So, to see that if our investment is desirable, we need to, wait lang. Okay. We need to use the annual worth method to find, no? If desirable ang investment. So, by annual worth method, you remember that in annual worth method, ang keys to remember is included ang interest sa original investment sa imuhang cash outflow, sa imong cost, sa imong bayro nun. So, to find the total annual cost or the cash outflows, the total annual cash outflow na lang yap, pwede na, or the total annual cost, okay, is the depreciation, again, kina siya operation and maintenance. So, depende sa problem kung unsang depreciation ang inyong gamiton. No? Again, it needs analysis. So, depreciation plus the tax and insurance plus the operation and maintenance plus, again, appeal si interest sa original investment. So, ang interest, which is, ang 270,000, okay, interest or the original investment. So, unsa man ang original investment, diba, 270,000. And what is the interest here? 4% of the first cost. So 4% of 270,000 mo nimong tax and insurance. So kasali po siya sa cash outflow in finding if desirable siya using this annual worth method. So again, the depreciation class is just equivalent to kung sa to atong gigamit ka ganina, sinking fund method. That's 270,000 minus 27,000 times 0.25 all over 1 plus 0.25 raised to the power of n, which is 5 minus 1. Plus, okay, plus tayo. The tax and insurance, which is, tax and insurance, 4% of 270,000. I think I solved it earlier. 4% of this that is 10,800 plus the operation and maintenance cost. How much? It's 81,000 plus the interest. Interest pala natin is 270,000. Yung 0.04 pala sa tax insurance pala siya. So yung interest po natin is 0.25 times 270,000. Kasi interest on the original investment, kasali po siya sa cost. Okay? So 270,000 times 0.25. Okay. So if we are going to calculate this, the cash outflow or the total annual cost, it's 188,908.76. Okay? So, ano siya tong cash outflow. And according to the annual worth method, i-minus lang nato si cash inflow minus cash outflow. Ang atong cash inflow, which is the total revenue sa isa ka tuig, minus the total revenue, minus the cash outflow, kasali na yung mga depreciation sa mga gigastos natin, minus natin siya with 185,400. So, 185,400 minus 188,908 point. Sige, so muna siya itong ginatawag na excess or net profit minus 108.76. Obviously, this is negative, no? That's negative 3.76. So, according sa annual worth method, dapat annual cash inflow minus annual cash outflow should be greater than or equal to 0. And look, nalugi ka po ng 3,508.76 pesos. Therefore, this investment is not desirable. That is if you use the annual worth method. So, lahat po ng cash outflow dapat alam natin and lahat ng cash inflow dapat alam natin. So, yan lang po ang i-remember natin with annual worth method. Okay? So, rate of return method, again, in a nutshell, dapat we need to know the net annual profit and, of course, ang capital, kabalanatan. So, ang net annual profit is just the annual revenue minus the total annual cost. Divide natin siya to get the rate of return. Okay? Sige. So now, another method that I'm going to teach is a present worth method. In present worth method, what we need to remember is mga formulas in present worth. So, remember nato in present worth method is the cash inflow includes annual revenue and salvage or scrap value. So, cash inflow po dapat natin dito. Cash inflow. Kasali po si annual revenue and the salvage value or the scrap value. Sa cash outflow po naman, depreciation is not included. So, wala appeal si depreciation. Di ba kaganina, appeal si depreciation. So, today, sa present worth method, hindi po siya kasali. Now, to get the cash inflows, so that is the present worth of the annual revenue plus the present worth of the salvage value. Now, to get the present worth of the annual revenue, class, it is just equivalent to A over I. Diba? Remember nato ang present worth class? So, A over I, 1 plus I raised to the power of n minus 1 over 1 plus I raised to the power of n. Okay? Plus the present worth of the salvage value. So, unsa man ang present worth ni salvage value? So, that's 270,000 at 27,000 because but to 10% to 270,000, 27,000 divided by 1 plus I raised to the power of n kasi present worth, diba? So, you need to remember again our discussions before. So, move muna natin to siya. Cash outflow. Let's focus on cash inflow muna. Sige. So, what is our I here? Ang ato ang A is 185,400. Mo man ato ang annual revenue, right? I-present nato siya. Present worth sa 185,400. So, present worth of the annual revenue, 185,400 divided by I times 1 plus sa atong I, it's 0.25. Okay. Ay, ako na isulat. Pwede ko malibog. So ito, 185,400.25. 1 plus 0.25 raised to the power of 5 years over 1 plus I. Okay, minus 1 para kalimut ko. Plus 27,000 divided by 1 plus 0.25 raised to the power of 5 years. Okay. Uy, sorry, one plus 0. Raised to the power of 4. 5 pala, sorry. This is 498,592.512 or 51 plus 7,000. Naman 8,847.36. And i-add na to siya sa 498,592.51. 512 or 51 na lang. It's 50 or 507,439.872 or 0.87. Okay. Now, mo na siya ito ang cash inflow. No? Present worth sa salvage value o present worth sa annual revenue. Mo na si present worth method. No? So, kay cash outflow naman po is excluded si depreciation. So, exclude depreciation. So, pag exclude nato si depreciation, ang ato ang operation and maintenance plus tax and insurance plus, sa pa ito? I think that's it. Mura to ato ang expenses or cash outflows. So, that is operation and maintenance, that's 81,000, I think. Yeah. Plus, tax and insurance is 4% of 270,000. That's, ito. Sorry, times 0.04. Calculator. 10,800 lagi. Okay, so therefore, ang ato ang cash outflow is, or annual cost rather, is, 91,800. I-present nato si 91,800 class. So, the present worth of cash outflow. Okay, so na kay gi-invest, apil man nato si investment, kaya anak siya diri, apil sa inflow si annual revenue, which is cash inflow includes total annual revenue. Mano dahil nino si 91,000, i-present lang nato siya, i-add nato siya kay 270,000. So 270,000, diba, first cost plus ito formula ni plus kani i-present nato ni 91,800 over 0.25 times 5 minus 1. Okay. So this is outflow man data, no? So atong gi-invest, correct. Kani siya is investment plus the present worth of kaning operation, maintenance, and tax insurance. So that is 516,875.90. Okay, so class, klarohon na nako, ang cash inflow na to diri is the present worth of the annual revenue, which is 185,000. Okay, gamito na itong formula ha, di makalimot. O present worth sa the salvage value, which is 27,000. Okay? Tapos, sa cash outflow pud class, kuan sa nato tong annual cost. This is actually the annual cost. Okay? So, present worth of the cash outflow or the annual cost, pwede na, no? So, i-add nato siya sa investment, of course. So, we have 516,875. So, in present worth method, we need to get si inflow minus outflow na pod. So, si inflow is 507,439.87 minus 516,875 pesos, 0.90. So, ang net cash flow niya, the present worth of the net cash flow equals negative 9,436.03. Again, class, the negative here indicates that the present worth of the net cash flow indicates that this isn't desirable. Sorry, erase. Okay. Then, next is the future worth method na naman po tayo in today's episode. So the future worth karon, ang ato ang remember for getting the future worth is comparable siya sa present worth method, but except inflows and outflows are compounded forward to a reference point, which is the future. Okay? So, kani si future worth method associated gyapon siya sa pagkuha sa future worth. Okay? Future worth or future worth. Kato itong na-discuss before. The F given A, no? So, ang formula is annual revenue divided by the interest. So, A over I times 1 plus I raised to the power of n minus 1. Okay? So, katong giin kaganina, di ba? Compounded daw. So, to compounded forward to reference point. So, F over A is uniform series compound amount. Okay? So, to get the future worth of cash inflows, okay? So, inflows ha? The salvage value plus katong, ay, sa man ang salvage value plus 27,000 atong salvage value at 270,000 times 0.10 plus ato ang annual revenue divided by 0.25, 1 plus 0.25 raised to the power of n minus 1. Okay? So again, future worth of the total revenue. Annual revenue, rather. Okay? Salvage value. Anong apil si salvage value? Ano man na siya god? Over time, di ba, in the future, brag, si equipment, we can sell it. So that's why, apil siya sa cash inflow, no? Input. Di ba? So that's why the salvage value og ang future sa imuhang annual revenue. Maman ang point ni future worth method. I hope you got that. Sige, let's continue. Now, if we are going to use our calculator, we can actually get the value of the future worth of the cash inflows with the salvage value. Okay, again, si salvage value in the near future, natin ma-earn sila ha. And, kaning isa, the F over A, the future of the annual inflow or annual revenue. So, that's 154,000. 1,548,583.59. Okay, now, ang cash outflows na naman. Cash outflows, the future worth of cash outflows. Okay? So si cash outflows class, kuha na to si annual cost, the future of annual cost, plus the future of F, or the future of the P. No? So, si F over AC o si F over P, in which si F over AC, the future of the annual cost is just 91,800 over I, 1 plus 0.25 raised to the power of 5 minus 1 plus future worth of your investment times 1 plus 0.25 raised to the power of 5. Okay, so this is 755,405.47 plus 823,974.61. So ato ang total for cash outflows sa future niya is 1,577,380.08. So pag minus na to si cash inflow minus cash outflow, so the future worth net cash flow 1,548. So therefore, this is negative 28,796.49, and negative again is not greater than 0, so this is undesirable. Okay, remember lang yun na to good ni sila, no? Saan pagkuha na nila ang future work at itong mga na-discuss previously, di ba? So, karon ang last method is the payback period method. So, si payback period method, okay, ang remember na to kay payback period method class, it's defined as the length of time required. So, giyon ako ganina, pila ka years ma-recover ang cost sa imong investment from the net cash flow produced, no? Sa investment na 0% ang interest rate. So si payback period ang pagkuha niya, ang formula is investment minus the salvage value over the net annual cash flow. So, the total annual cost plus, di ba, kabalo naman ta, the cash outflow equals 81,000, ilan, kani, ana, operation maintenance, plus tax and insurance is 4% of 270,000, that's 10,800, is equal to 91,800. Okay? So depreciation is still not included in the payback period. Okay? And we also have the net annual cash flow. So ang cash flow sa net annual cash flow is the total or the annual revenue minus the total annual cost. So ang revenue nato is 185,400 minus ang atong annual cost, which is 91,800 pesos. That's equivalent to 93,600 pesos. Okay? So therefore, ang payback period nato is payback period is investment. That's our investment. That is 270,000 minus 27,000 atong salvage value over the net annual cash flow, which is 93,600. So that is 2.596, or that's approximately 2.6 years ang payback period. Okay, so that's it for this lecture. This is actually not included na lang sa inyong exam. So, I hope you find time to watch this video and learn something about it, and I'll probably give more examples in our next discussions. So thank you so much for listening. Have a very good day.